beginning was the sound. Not a sound of words yet, but a feeling, a presence, ancient and unknowable, slithering through the ages, passing on cryptic messages to those who hear them, weaving fates and prophecies. The whispers are all around us. Can you hear them? If you played enough Guild Wars 2, then chances are you have. These are some of the more than 100 in-game recordings of the whispers. This is just a small sample, but it should give you an idea of what we're working with here. Maybe you've heard these before, maybe not. But if you think about it, there are a lot of ways that the whispers can be heard in Tyria. It isn't just dialogue. Their presence, their influence, even how the world reacts to them can all act as their voice. So while this list won't include every single instance of the whispers, it will cover the first time each elder dragon was recorded to have spoken, based on the oldest known documentation of their presence. And as we go through them, you might start to notice some interesting consistencies in their speech patterns. First, we need to go way back. The oldest confirmed instance of the whispers predating even the first human settlers in Tyria by centuries or perhaps millennia. Long before any of the races of the present day, the elder dragons were here, and their presence, though unseen, was deeply felt by the early humans who would eventually become the ancestors of the modern Norn. These proto-Norn tell of a time when the earth was young and the glaciers still held sway over the land. They spoke of a great calamity that shook the world and brought the ice down, revealing the land as it is today. And they tell of a prophecy of a great serpent that would one day return. That serpent was Caligos, the ice brood, whose return would usher in a new ice age. This is the earliest record we have of the whispers, though the humans who recorded this were obviously not Norn yet. Centuries later, the prophecy would come to pass, and the ice brood's return would be heralded by the arrival of Yormog, the first of the elder dragons to be recorded by name. The next confirmed instance of the whispers comes from much later, and from across the sea in Ilona. Here, the Zenmai, a race of peaceful desert-dwelling humans, had lived for generations under the protection of the elder dragon Kralkatorrik. So too had the Shar, who lived as slaves under the Zenequi for hundreds of years until the Char rebelled and slew the dragon, stealing its armor and claiming its visage as their own. But the whispers did not end there. In fact, the Shar had been hearing them since long before they came to Krita. Even as slaves, the Shar revered Kralkatorrik as a god, and its whispers guided them towards their independence, eventually culminating in the Creighton War, where the Shar defeated the humans and laid claim to the land. We could go on, following the whispers back through the ages, seeing how they've affected Tyria and its inhabitants. But I think you get the idea. These whispers have been going on for a very long time, and though they may seem cryptic and random, there are patterns to them, consistencies in the way they speak and the things they say. If you listen closely, you might just be able to hear them. What do you hear? Let me know in the comments below.
Here, the final confrontation with Kralkatorrik is imminent.
You cannot hide. You cannot surprise me. I see all. Zaitan's gaze cannot be avoided.
Grandfather! Look at me! Whoa!
I can't explain what's about to happen, champion.
Become part of me and endure. Or fall forever into oblivion.
I'll do my best to contain the spread, but we need to strike it down quickly. I'm going to lend you my power. We can't fight it separately.
Your dam's discipline, and all that rage seething under the surface.
I'm sorry. It has to be this way, Grandfather.
Child of my child, I only hope that you never have to kill what you love.
Can I confess something, little one? I'm afraid to die. I don't.
The ancient art of Tyria beats with a rhythm not its own, but one instilled by colossal forces that rise and sleep, devour and dream. These are the elder dragons, not merely beasts of immense power, but primal energies given terrifying form, their very existence etching the shape of continents and the fate of civilizations. Their stories are not tales whispered around campfires, but the very ground beneath our feet, the scars in the sky, and the chilling silence of forgotten lands. They say that before the sun warmed the highest peaks, before the races of Tyria knew their own names, the dragons stirred. They rose from abyssal slumbers, beings of elemental hunger, and remade the world in their consuming image. Their return in our time wasn't just a catastrophe. It was the unfolding of an ancient saga, each awakening a new bloody chapter. Shaitan, the dragon of death, gave new meaning to despair. His story is written in the sunken kingdom of Or, resurrected not to glory, but to unending servitude. The ocean floor vomited forth its dead skeletal sailors and twisted leviathans, cloaked in the stench of decay. His whispers were not of power, but of the grave, enslaving souls and bodies alike, painting the coastlines of Tyria with the grim pallor of undeath. Every risen abomination shambling ashore carried a fragment of his narrative. A once living being, now an unwitting puppet in a cosmic theater of decay. Their stories silenced, replaced by the guttural growl of their master. Deep beneath the earth, Primordial, the dragon of fire, was the first to stir. His legend is one of primal fury, of molten rock and searing ash. The dwarves, mighty and ancient, met his awakening with courage, sacrificing their very forms to become the stone dwarves, an eternal bulwark against his fiery tides. Yet his story rumbled on, a subterranean menace that consumed the deepest places, turning solid rock to magma, its hunger threatening to boil the very oceans and crack the world. His presence is the tremor felt in the deepest mines, the unnatural heat in volcanic caverns, a testament to an elemental rage that brooks no challenge. The chilling shadow of Jormag, the dragon of ice, swept down from the shiver peaks, freezing life and hope alike. His narrative is one of insidious corruption, not through fire or death, but through the bitter cold of dominion. The Norn, once proud hunters, found their kin twisted into the icy thralls of his sons, their souls locked in crystalline prisons. Yet their saga also speaks of defiance, of the spirit that refuses to yield, even as the frost-gorged sound became a monument to his glacial reign. His breath isn't just cold, it's a whisper that promises power in exchange for identity, a chilling bargain that reshapes the very soul. Then came Kralkatorrik, the dragon of crystal, whose story is etched across the very face of the land. His brand is a scar visible from orbit, a cataclysmic surge of crystalline corruption that turned verdant plains into jagged, purple-hued wastelands. Whole legions of char and humans caught in his wake became the branded, beautiful, agonizing sculptures of living crystal, their wills enslaved. His legend is one of unstoppable, breathtaking transformation, a furious beauty that consumes and transmutes, leaving behind a glittering, razor-sharp testament to his passage, a constant reminder that the earth itself can be claimed and remade in an instant. The very air humid with ancient secrets, Mordramoth, the dragon of jungle and mind, arose from the Maguma. His story is perhaps the most insidious, a symphony of whispers and thorns. He didn't just consume, he infiltrated, his tendrils reaching into the dreams of the Sylvari, twisting their very nature, turning their nascent innocence into a weapon against Tyria. His jungles are not merely overgrown, they are extensions of his consciousness, a living labyrinth where every vine and every blossom conspired to ensnare and corrupt. His tale is a chilling exploration of free will, a psychological horror where the enemy lay not just without, but within the deepest recesses of the mind, and beyond them the deep-sea dragon, whose name we do not yet speak, whose story is largely unwritten, but whose absence from the surface is a constant, terrifying question mark, hinting at an even deeper, more ancient terror lurking beneath the waves. The stories of the elder dragons are not just about destruction, they are about resilience, about the relentless fight for survival by the races of Tyria. They are about heroes rising, sacrifices made, and the eternal hope that even these cosmic behemoths might one day be defied. The cycle may be ancient, but the ending, for the first time in millennia, is being written by mortal hands. And perhaps, just perhaps, the newest elder dragon, Aurene, the crystal dragon of prophecy, will begin a different story entirely. One not of consumption, but of balance, a fragile new chapter in the epic saga of Tyria and its draconic heart.